This tutorial is to show you how to log into the ArcGIS website. Please note that the usernames and passwords for your access are posted on the GIS information page on Canvas. It is also important to note that the only way to access this website is through the link that is provided in both the information packet as well as on the assignment page for GIS. If you'll notice on the screen, it does say sign in to Nebo School District. We have our own special logins. In fact, each school within the district has their own logins. So please, if this is being used in other schools, check with your teacher, your instructor, to find out what your school username and passwords are. I am going to attempt to log in, which it did not do, and it's really finicky. It's interesting how one username will work but another one will not. And so we're going to try another period. There we go. So third period's worked for me. Second period should work for several of you. First period will work for you. Don't give up on trying to log in. This is your home screen. I'm going to show you how to set this up, and I would do this for each of your assignments using ArcGIS, as everything that I will cover will be using this particular map. I would not try to use the beta right now. I started it the other day and it is very different from this particular view. While they do the same thing, everything that is in your packet and online is designed for this ArcGIS setup and not the new one. So I think it'll be easier for you if you'll use this screen. I would change a base map to imagery with labels. So this website works a lot like Google Earth. You can choose several different types of maps, however. I like to use imagery with labels as it gives you the pictures of the Earth, but it also identifies the cities and landmarks so that you get a better idea of where you're at. If I may take a few minutes to just show you some of these options. Details, it just allows you to turn this menu on to show your different details. If you want to see what layers you have turned on, you just click on content. This is to add the different layers. Now layers is layers of data. So we're going to be importing data onto this map. So I like to liken it to a wedding cake. Your wedding cake has many different layers. You have a cake layer, you have frosting layers, you have another cake layer, you have another frosting layer. Each layer is building on top of the first layer. So right now on your screen, this map is my first cake layer. And we can add new layers, your frosting layer, your next cake layer, another frosting layer, using these features. And I will show how to use this in a different tutorial. The only other thing that you will be able to use or will need to use is this measure function. You will be using square miles, and you'll also be measuring in acres. You will also need to be using this ruler that will measure in miles. We'll show you how to use that in another tutorial. This is the basic setup for you to use the software. I will explain just a little bit more about each of these layer options, as I want this tutorial just to be about how to use the website. When we search for a layer, this means that we're going to be searching for data. If you use my content, This is for layers that you create personally. You don't have any created, nor have you selected any favorites. You don't belong to any groups that have layers. If you try to search in my organization that is trying to search in Nebo School District's ArcGIS files, we don't have any. So we're going to strictly use ArcGIS Online. When you do this, you'll see a bunch of layers pop up. When you are asked to do a search for a layer, I will give you specifically what terms to search for. That will give you a list of files to choose from. I will give you the exact description of the file that you need to use. The reason why you need to use the exact file is because your questions will be based upon that layer and the information contained on that layer. So you may get the answer incorrect if you're not using the correct layer. You have other options in the Add Layer feature. The only one that we're going to use, actually there's two that we're going to use, Add Layer from File or Add Map Notes. The Add Map Notes, you can give it whatever name you want. You can leave it. I like to leave it this way. I just click Create. This gives you the feature, let me see if I can zoom in here, of being able to add push pins to mark locations, which we will use a push pin. This feature allows you to add a text box. I have used the line tool many times over the years. This allows you to draw lines on your maps. This is the end of the tutorial on how to use this website. I will create other tutorials on how to do your assignment.